What's up, y'all? Welcome to another phenomenal Fatherhood Friday. I'm your host, TG3. We got Omega in the building.
Yo.
We saw the comments. We saw all the comments on Instagram, all the comments on YouTube. Everybody was like, man, y'all got to get back in the studio and do a part 2. Well, guess what? We heard your voices. We heard your cry. So now we're here to bring it to you live, okay? So shout out to all the dads holding it down. By the way, before we get into it, jump into the Discord if you haven't yet. If you didn't know about it, the Discord is live at Phenomenal Fatherhood. You can easily look it up. Be sure to check out phenomenalfatherhood.com where this video is going to drop, as well as on YouTube. And other than that, man, I'm always a pleasure to have you here.
Appreciate
I
it,
definitely wanted to get into more of your story. I know last time, Martin, this is for you if you're watching this, Martin. But Martin was like, man, I really wish I want to hear more about where Omega's from, a little bit about his journey and how he got into what he's doing right now, man. So I'll let you get started with those 3 questions, and then we'll just roll from there.
All right, man. Where I'm from is South Carolina. So I'm from Richland, South Carolina, Jasper County, South Carolina, by Parris Island, where they train a lot of the Marines at. That's what you probably going to know us for. Other than that, you know, we are exit town, you know, 2 traffic lights, and you through there. So basically, I'm from the country, you know, and I think being from South Carolina, I'm glad that somebody asked that because we're not known for much. You know, we have Carolina Panthers.
Oh, yeah.
Charlotte Bobcats. I'm grateful that they're not the Carolina Hornets or Bobcats or whatever because they suck so bad, you feel me? But down there is just a lot of people that depend on each other, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's what helped shape me and mold me into the person that I was. We didn't have a lot growing up, but we had a lot growing up. You feel me? Because we had men, phenomenal fathers, phenomenal mothers, and people like that raising us. You know what I'm saying? So where I'm from, man, I grew up pretty much on the coast. So I grew up on the water a lot. I ate a lot more fish and shrimp and crab than I actually did like fast food and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I had to go catch fish and stuff like that with my friends, with my pops and stuff like that. So I grew up on the shrimp boats like Forrest Gump and Bubba Gump. And I did that before, you feel me? Yeah. So my dad was a mechanic too. So he worked on cars a lot. He had a shop behind the house. So I had to be at work, you know what I'm saying? 12, 13, 14, I got my name on my shirt. You know, Shepherd Automotives, Walt on the name tag type deal. You feel me? So grew up in a neighborhood was like a circle, a loop, and one way in, one way out. So all of us knew each other. You know, you knew everybody on your block. And I think that's something that we don't have that no more. I don't know the neighbors to the left of me right now. I don't. You know your neighbors to the left and your right?
I know everybody on my block.
That's good. See? That's good.
Well, my whole thing is that I got kids, right? So I had to be like so intentional about it. The people across the street from me, I lucked out because we all catch the same bus. But everybody else, like I kind of had to be like, I got one person all the way on the corner. I don't know them yet, but my neighbor, that helped me out. And then, bro, when we had Hurricane Beryl, everybody was like outside. Like, man, let me borrow your rake, let me borrow your
Exactly.
broom.
That's how I grew up.
That's how I found them.
Yeah, that's how I grew up, man. And I think that's important. You know what I'm saying? Because it brings everybody to the forefront for real, you know? And it really ain't no shadows, you know, for the kids and for activities and stuff going on. You're going to know your neighbor. You're going to know your people. You need to know who live close by you because when you're in time of need, you're going to need to borrow some sugar from that person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to get the sugar and be questioning it either.
Yeah.
You know, put something in this? Is it sugar? You know, or is it some of that gnaw in there? You know what I mean? We know what that is, right? But yeah, man. But growing up, that's what kind of pretty much made me who I am, man. You know, is my dad used to have us speak up to people that came in our yard. Hey, go ask him what he want. You see me working. I'm changing tires. You got to at least get them, let me know what they need. They might just want to find a shop or they might want some work done. I need to know that. There's a difference in somebody coming up there looking for me and somebody wants some work done to their car between the hours of 9 to 4, 9 to 5, right? And being that my pop did spend some time working in the yard for himself, he wasn't no shade tree mechanic either. My daddy was a small engine repair man. You know, he went to Voorhees in South Carolina State for small engine repairs like that. So he was a teacher in South Carolina, but he went through a rough time. Being my pops was born in 1949. So my dad was old school, and I wasn't born until 1991. So my pops being that old of a school and being from Charleston, South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, that's where the slaves come in at. So then you got Gullah Geechee people. You know how you saying, boy? So I go from a place like that. That's how my people talk. You feel me? So I come from that type of dialect, you know, where it's like, it's color lines. You feel me? So you got kids over here, they go over here, we go over there. You know what I'm saying? So growing up in all of that, though, but my dad having the stature and having that presence in such a town like that, he was known by them and us. So I had to carry myself well on both sides of the track. No matter where I go, that's Shep's son. That's Shep boy right there. Hey, boy, that's your dad in it. Your dad don't play. So he had eyes and ears throughout the whole community, throughout the whole city, throughout the whole neighborhood, throughout the whole county, throughout the whole 4-5 exits. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was that well known. So I always had to kind of feel like I had eyes on me. Mm-hmm. Like how, you know, some people like, man, God watching. My daddy watching. He ain't even here. Yeah. So he, in my eyes, being a young man, I wasn't afraid of my daddy, but I feared him to a degree. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Because I know even if he ain't here, it can get back to him. And he was like that, like a mafia style. You come in the house, everything good until he sit down. And my pops used to hold dinners. Even though my dad raised us a little bit, my mom and dad weren't in the same house. So my mom was like in the next, from Conroe to like downtown Houston. Mm-hmm. So it's a little ride, you feel me? Mm-hmm. My dad would still cook. Work all day in the shop, hands smelling like motor oil, but he fried chicken. You know what I'm saying? He cooking green beans. He cooking rice. Hey, get your rice. You're going to eat all your vegetables. You're going to get your chicken in you too. So he was teaching me about protein, carbs. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Don't drink all that soda. All that bread ain't good for you. You know what I mean? I'm hearing these things when I'm young. Going against it when I'm little because, you know, I'm finicky. I don't want to eat everything my pop put in front of me. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And he stood tall on it, though. You not getting up till all that broccoli gone. Eat all that broccoli. Or you gonna sit there. It done been a few times where I fell asleep. Yeah. Some people gonna hear this and think, what kind of parent is that? A man that's loved by his son who he, you know what I'm saying, right here sitting across me. I love my dad to death. You know what I'm saying? Because he gave me morals and principles, rules and regulations. Because when I joined that military, when the drill sergeant said the same thing, I had backbone already. And I heard that before from somebody. Yep. And that was somebody I respected, and I knew that later on in life, it made me a better man. So maybe this drill sergeant trying to push me in the right direction. Mm-hmm. And I can take with the drill sergeant better. Now I know I got to eat this food because that's what you supposed to do. Eat all of it because what that drill sergeant finna put you through was similar to what my daddy was going to put you through. I didn't know yet when I was young, right? Mm-hmm. And you going to be out there in the shop with me tomorrow from 9 to about 4 or 5, and I don't need the monkey getting on your back. That's dehydration. That's like heat stroke. Mm-hmm. You feel me? So I need you to eat all your food and drink all your water because I don't need to keep stopping, and I don't want to hear no complaining and no crying because we getting work done. Teaching young man how to work. So my pops was that type of father, man. He was active. He was CCTV. He was a ring camera. You feel me? Yeah. He was that find me, you know what I'm saying? He was that iPhone in your pocket. He know what you thinking. He that algorithm. He all that. It was amazing to me how he was, man. You know, and it ain't hit me till I got older. How well he was put together. You know what I'm saying? Because all the kids respected him. Mm-hmm. The same way I did with like a fear factor. Shep coming. Let me get. Yeah. Matter of fact, you know what? My chain might have a little plant on it. Let me tuck my little plant. That's how people was around me. You know what I'm saying? They still did their thing, but they know Debo coming. Yeah. Let me get right. Let me tighten up. You know what I'm saying? So my dad having that type of respect and that type of stature, man, you know, I ain't take it for granted either. You know what I'm saying? Because I saw kids around me who didn't have that. Mm-hmm. And I saw how their mothers would bring them to my pop's house. Hey, Shep, I need you to talk to my son real quick. He wilding, bro.
Bring them to your dad's house?
Yes. Dang. It was mothers that would bring their kids to my dad's house. Wow. For him to talk to them. Hey, come on in here, shut that door behind you and have a seat. Now, what you did to your mama today? Now, don't dip your head. Don't look away. Straighten up. Look me in the eye. Yeah. Yeah, pull your chair all the way up like you did. Yeah, slam that how you slam that. Because I heard about it. And growing up how I was raised, you better tell the truth. Because if it get 4 houses down that you lied at the house, the second lie coming to that house, third lie, fourth lie.
Man, we don't even see that. We don't even see that no more. Like where the other kids going to a father figure and really trying to do that. But speaking of that, real quick, if you are a mom out there and you don't have a dad to go to, you can go to phenomenalfatherhood.com, click on Ask a Dad, and ask a question, and any one of the phenomenal fathers will get back to you and let us know how we would address that. But you said something earlier, maybe last week on Instagram, that I really want to key on and like segue to. Okay. So last week on Instagram, you were talking about fasting and having that discipline. Ooh. Yeah. So I actually have been fasting all day, probably since like 6 o'clock. I was like, you know what? When I go do this podcast, I'm going to be fasting.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm turned up right now because I'm all on energy right now.
That's real.
But what I want to get into is just like how fasting has really highlighted the discipline you know. And what you just said about what your dad did
Word.
really helped me understand, like, you know, that discipline, how it translated to all the other areas of your life. Like you said, before you even got to the military, you already had that discipline. Before you even got to the military, you already was ready for what the drill sergeant was going to throw at you, because it wasn't nothing like so out of the ordinary. It was just already in your house. Yeah. So how do you feel like your dad kind of prepared you in the discipline aspect for everything you had to endure, military plus post-military life?
Oh, man. You know, he prepared me in this manner. What'd I say? You heard what I said? Yes, sir. Okay, so ain't no problem. It's clear communication. You know what I said. So that's that. You got to do what I said. You know what I said. T for T, go and do that. So it showed me that I had to get above my emotions and think this thing through, because he was the type of person. They go wash TG3 truck for him. And they better not, you know, hit the wheel wells, hit the windows, hit the door jams, open the doors up, hit all that, up the hood, clean around that, get the blower, blow the leaves off the motor. You know what I'm saying? Hit up under the wheel wells, hit the rims, hit between the rims, hit where the you know, where you put the air hose cap on.
Yeah.
You wipe all that, get the black brake residue off the tires, wipe everything, hit all that in the inside. Then when he come back, ask him if you want to hit the inside, detail it for him. That's how you get extra money in your pocket. See how I broke that down? I didn't say wash the car and then holler at me. I gave you details on how you do it, right? Then if I don't do it that way, hey, Walt, come back. You missed a spot. Start all the way over. Don't just do, hey, I see so the windows ain't clean. No, wash the whole car over again. Start from the top, work your way down. Do it all the way over again. He was that type of person. Meticulous. Like the military. Step by step. Not step 1, 4. Not you thought you tried something, you thought it was gonna be faster. You gotta learn the basic standard how to do that first.
Man.
You feel me?
Yeah.
You gonna do it how I said first, not what you thought. Now when I see you can do it the way I just told you, now we can do a little customizing. But you need to do you need to break it, put it together and break it down by the book first before you cutting corners. He'll have me, and because the jobs was so serious at my dad's shop, these cars is going back to customers. He not giving me no easy stuff. Take the tires off, unloosen the brake calipers and the brake pads. We talking about brakes. If your brakes don't work on your car, where you going? You gonna stop?
No.
You gonna keep going, right?
Yeah.
I'm entrusted with somebody's life. Before I even get to the military, I'm entrusted with Miss Mary car.
Yeah.
Don't have Miss Mary brakes not working, son. That's my character. That's my well-being. That's my livelihood. That's my name. I'm stamping that with my seal of approval. Just like in the streets. The stamp is on that.
Facts.
What my man said on American Gangster, you can call it blue, just don't put my stamp on it.
Yep.
So it got to be what it is. Don't get to doing it your way. So before I got in the military, my daddy already told me, just like a sergeant, just like a first sergeant, it comes from the top. It's a hierarchy in the home, just like it's a hierarchy in anything else.
Yep.
It's an umbrella. It's a chain of command. And if more young people knew that, more parents knew that, they would have more, I think they would have a lot more, what I want to say, order, and just have a lot more faith in them being a parent that don't always make their kids smile. Everything my daddy was saying wasn't fun, because he used to say, I'm your daddy and not your friend. That's another way it helped me with discipline. Think before your feelings. You can feel what you want, but the right thing is the right thing. And what I said is still what I said, despite if you can't go play basketball right now until you wash that car again.
Thanks.
And again. I done had to wash one car 4 times just to go to my homeboy house to play Midnight Club Dub Edition. I went to his house 5 times. I ain't get to stay till the 6th time. I went, got back there. My daddy would let me get all the way there. Then call that person's house, because I ain't had no phone in my pocket. Then by the time you get there, your daddy say, come back.
Facts, yo. Shout out to the house phones, bro. Like, what?
So now I got a bike all the way back.
Yup.
I'm getting in shape on the way. I'm hungry now because I'm washing the car at 8. I started at 8. The sun ain't all the way up yet. 12 o'clock, I'm still doing the car.
Yup.
It's hot. I got discipline now because I got to get it done. And he going to reward me with reward or punishment. You can go do it, or you can do it right the first time, and you could have been playing the game all day. And no matter how hard he was on me, after the after action review, the AAR, that's military talk. But after it was all over and he came back and pulled me to the side, he'd say, now you understand why I did what I did, right? Yes, sir. Why? because you want me to be this and this. No, because I want you to do it right. And I want people to know that when you wash their car, it's good to go the first time. Mm-hmm. And when I want people to know that you do things right. Your name speak for you. Like I said on the last time, each one reach one, each one teach one. All speak one speak for all, right? That's all it come down to. Just like fasting. It's going to clear your mind. If I'm so used to knowing that I can get water, eggs, and sustenance and food out the refrigerator, sometimes you might need to not have none of that because you're ungrateful. It's natural. That's human nature, is to be complacent. You know what I'm saying? But it's also human nature to stay busy. That's why a lot of us be so upset with ourselves because we ain't doing enough throughout the day. When I'm fasting from sun up to sundown, bro, I'm in that gym still smiling, still laughing, still running with some of my clients that need me to run with them to help get them going or keep them going. I ain't ate nothing all day. And I'm still doing it with a smile on my face. What does that tell you about me? What does that tell you about a person who can do that? Sit across from you, know my homeboy gonna eat fried chicken at 11 and still laugh and talk with him and not fold, not bend, and not make him feel bad about eating, because this between me and my God, not me and everybody's. And you know what I mean? Yep. But it's still showing you something because it rubbed off on you. I'm gonna try it just for the podcast day. That's your entry right there to it. And see how you feel. You might do it every now and then. And it ain't no one set way. But it's also with all the processed foods we got going on now, right? All the red 40, all that. It's good to let that stuff just burn out of your system. All the coffee and caffeine. We got caffeine and sugar built up in us for days and weeks. When we going to reset the circuit breaker and give our stomach a break? Some of our stomachs stretch so far, that's why we still feel hungry after we even eat. Then we put foods in us that want us to keep eating. And after you fast for a little while, your stomach shrinks again. Now you don't even need that much to sustain you. And I've even had people tell me since I've been fasting that I got bigger. You know why they think I got bigger? Because my muscle tone coming out more. Yep. Because my body fat going down. You feel me? And visceral fat is a key indicator to overall health. That's the stomach around your midsection. Yep. You need to fast from whatever. From the food, water, music, TV, texting. We'll go with that. We're around with texting. Yeah, you get that. You feel me? I ain't gonna say it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we need to pull back from some of everything. Yep. Ain't none of us perfect. You can be at work too much. You can be at church too much. If your family said, you always up there. Can you give us some of your time? And that's another thing about fasting. You ain't got nothing but your thoughts in your head. If you pull yourself from food and water, you're gonna start to know who yourself for real. You're gonna get reintroduced to who you are under stressful environments and stressful conditions. Right? Now you're gonna have to ask yourself, I gotta learn how to control that irritability, that aggression, that hangriness, and still put forth my best self. I mean, that's like going with or without. Like I said, with times growing up when we ain't have much. Bro, I remember a time, bro, that I had to wash my dishes like in my bathtub. Yeah. At my pot. You know what I mean? Yeah. I go in there, I pull the curtain back before I can wash. It's a grits bowl in there, eggs, and all that tub in the tub, okay? I'm going to say that on here because we need more people saying that. Because some people ain't come from that, but you let them tell it. They ready to put you in the ground because they the toughest thing on earth, but you ain't never had to go in there and wash your dishes in your bathtub. You feel me? Then I'm going right to school tomorrow, and I don't care. Because guess what? All the kids in the neighborhood want to be at my house because we had the most fun here. We outside all day. Yeah. And our daddy really actively in our life showing us how to make butterfly traps with a hanger and a PVC pipe. You feel me? What? Showing other kids how to put heads on cars, how to take gaskets off of stuff, how to fix the O-rings on the four-wheelers, how to put the battery clamps on the battery, showing kids how to put jumper cables on the car. He out there with you. Even though he ain't got a lot, everybody want to spend the night and sleep on the floor at our house. I used to be like, bro, I want to go to your house. You got carpet, you got AC, you got a pool in your neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? Bro, I want to go to Shep house. I want to go to Mr. Shep house. Bro, we had a junkyard, my bad. We had a junkyard in the house, at my house. Rusty, raggedy cars, bro. We back there playing manhunt, hide and go seek 20 deep. Yeah. Jumping and hiding in cars and stuff like that, bro. Yeah. Just imagine how that gets you, how in shape that's going to get you. You jumping from dump trucks into boats on top of Volvos, Galaxy 500s, Corvettes. Caprices and stuff. Yeah, that's how we was in Louisiana, man. Like, Louisiana was like that for real. Yeah. Like, both my parents was from Louisiana, so we would go there like every summer.
But yeah, man, like just to clarify for the viewers, like I've been doing fasting for a long time. You know what I mean? Especially with intermittent fasting, I have some days where at least once a quarter I'm doing a 28 or a 24 or a 48-hour fast. You know what I mean? Just to like clean stuff out.
Yeah.
But yeah, just real quick, I just wanted to touch on like how'd you get into training the youth and training in general? Like, what was that whole journey like?
Oh man, I think after I got out the military, right? You so used to that camaraderie, bro. I've been in sports like my whole life, football, basketball, track. It's in the military, so it's teamwork. You know what I'm saying? So for me, when I got out, it was just me. I said, man, I gotta find me something that makes me feel like I'm a part of a team, or organization. You know, I know who I am on my own. But I don't feel fulfilled if I ain't helping somebody, if I ain't serving others. You know what I'm saying? But I was looking for my way to do it that made me feel at peace and I could still be myself. You know what I'm saying? So I went and started coaching youth football in Fayetteville right after I got out the military. So I got with them 13 and 14-year-olds, and I wanted the rough and the toughest kids, the ones who, the ones from the streets, who tough. Yeah. You know, but because I want to go and show them, like, you need somebody like me to help you get how to manage that and harness that energy and push it in the right direction. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not scared to stand tall with you. I ain't scared to tell your mom and your dad what you was doing and ask about how you was doing and stuff like that. So, and me knowing how my dad influenced so many people in my neighborhood, go right back to him. I watched a lot of men leave carpenter work, mechanic work, doing all kind of jobs to come coach us in Little League. Them with my Uncle Ferguson, Mr. Ferguson, Coach Lawyer, Coach Craig, RP Coach Craig. You know what I'm saying? Everybody and all my coaches respected my daddy because he coached them. You feel me? So it's just in me.
Yep.
It passed down through me from all the men I was around and the people who influenced me as a young man to continue to carry that torch further. You know, like I said, we all looking for so many different things when you could just look back at your life and see what you had and what you didn't have, and when you can put those two together and fill in the blank in this life we have now. So that's what got me into it. Was I always was a part of it. That's all I know is helping others and getting better and competing and winning. Yep. And I always was spiritual because I come from spiritual people, you know, so I like it in the sense of the physical connection and the spiritual connection, from the exercise to the fasting to the consistency to the discipline to all those things, making me a phenomenal father, basically. You feel me? Like, let's up the hood on what makes this person a good person.
Yep.
The starter, the carburetor, the spark plugs, the battery, the transmission, the engine, the rear end. You know, the steering wheel, all those components make a phenomenal father. You can't just snap that on there and call it that.
Yep.
It's a phenomenal fatherhood sticker on it, but it ain't that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When somebody up the hood, it ain't no motor in there.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So that's what got me into it, man. The energy. You know what I'm saying? I feel like in a world that's so selfish, man, we got to get back to just being a part of something.
Yep.
As individuals, you make the group better. You make it better. You know what I'm saying? That's all, man. The love I got for kids, too.
Yeah.
Bro, I trained like 5-year-olds all the way up to adults, you know.
Yeah, I see you had the you was like incorporating the parent the other time. Like the little boy had the boxing gloves.
Oh yeah,
you know,
They was doing some little shadow boxing because he was calling it fighting. I said no, it's called
he was
boxing.
fighting at the school. Oh, he was calling it.
He just calls it fighting.
Yeah. I
say it's called boxing. That little thing right there. Because if you say fighting in school, that's a bad label on it.
Yep.
But boxing, now we know it's a discipline. It's a skill set. It's something you train and prepare for. You put your guard up. Put your fist up. And if I put that discipline in him at 5 years old, like my daddy used to tell me when he first put a shotgun in my hand, you don't put your finger in that trigger well until you're willing to pull that trigger. And make sure it ain't pointed at nobody. You keep it all the way down, all the way up. And it ain't no toy. It's a shotgun. It's a gun. It's a projectile weapon. It's boxing gloves. These are your fists. They can cause damage. They can hurt you and somebody else. So it ain't no wait till later to teach him, because the wrong person might teach him. So as soon as I see that he got any type of sense, let's put him on it.
Yep.
See how far he can take it.
The internet might teach him.
You feel me?
But you said something earlier that I really want to touch on about what you said about what got you into the position you are now, and then just taking that gap from the pain. And that's like a big thing I try to talk about, is like turning that pain into a purpose.
Oh, yeah.
And then the last time we were talking at the gym, we were talking about depression, right? Yeah. So then like basically what happened was that I was meeting with this guy who's like 8 figures. He does 8 figures, and he like coaches other 8-figure companies on how to run their sales team, so forth and so on. And he was telling me about how women treat depression. They need to be treated with like love in order to get out of that depression, to pull themselves out of that black hole. With men, it's more so about the 2 P's, which is purpose and power.
Yes.
And so a lot of what you're talking about, like post-military career, is just finding that purpose, finding that power within yourself where you can still be yourself and have your authenticity without having to sacrifice your integrity.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So talk a little bit about like pulling people out of that depression for men specifically when it comes to like power and purpose, and what your thoughts are on that.
I feel like no man have power if he don't have his purpose. You know what I'm saying? If he had power without that, that's chaos. That's chaotic. That's destruction. That's not what you want. You know, I feel like you ain't empowered until you find your purpose. You feel me? And once you find your purpose, you empowered. Now you can have integrity now, because now you're not lying to yourself. You're not lying to no one else. You that on and off camera. You exactly what you are when you find your purpose. Everything's come easier when you acting within your purpose. You know what I'm saying? And purpose don't come with perfection. Purpose has failure along with it. Less losses, that's all lessons that come with it. You understand me?
A lot.
So once you do that, you become better for your environment, for your community, and for your family. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, man, live your truth. Like it was hard for me to even speak on washing my dishes in the bathtub, but maybe that was part of my purpose. You know what I'm saying? To go through that. Then that empowered me to be who I am. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So let's not get caught up on what it is while we doing the work. Let's just get the work done first. And that'll give us our purpose. And then we empowered after that. Because it all comes from within. You know what I mean?
Is your pop still living?
Nah, man, my dad passed from cancer in 2012, man. We can get into that a little later because it's a long story too. But my dad been gone since 2012, man. You know, he died from colon cancer, and that's another thing that helped me get into exercising and taking care of myself and fasting and stuff. Was a shock value of fear almost of it could be me next. And him dying at like 62, 63, I put it into numbers. Well, if I'm 29, 30 now, I'm halfway there. So let me tighten up with my life and have more power by enacting on my purpose. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Well, yeah, man, that's all the time we have for today, unfortunately. My mom actually passed in March of 2022 from cancer. So anybody who's battling with cancer, you're a cancer survivor, you're a freaking soldier.
Yes, you are. Here. Keep fighting.
You don't have to be perfect to be phenomenal. Tap in with phenomenalfatherhood.com, as well as whatever platform you're on, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, TikTok. We everywhere. So we might have to have a part 3. Let us know in the comments if you want to see a part 3. Obviously, we hearing what you're saying and we making it happen. So with that being said, we'll see y'all in the next video.
Peace.